The question of why Jewish people have faced hatred or persecution throughout history is complex and deeply rooted in various social, religious, political, and economic factors. Anti-Semitism, the term used to describe hostility or discrimination against Jews, has existed for thousands of years and has manifested in different forms in different societies. Some of the key historical reasons for anti-Semitism include 1. Religious tensions. Christianity and Judaism. From the early days of Christianity, Jews were often blamed for the death of Jesus Christ. This deicide charge, though not based on historical evidence, was used by many Christian communities to justify discrimination and violence against Jews for centuries. Islam and Judaism. While Islamic rule was often more tolerant toward Jews than medieval Christian rule, there were still periods of persecution in various Muslim-majority regions, often tied to political conflicts or changes in power dynamics. 2. Cultural differences. Jews, as a minority group in many societies, often maintain distinct religious and cultural practices that set them apart from the majority. This otherness led to suspicion and misunderstanding, which sometimes turned into hostility. 3. Economic myths. In medieval Europe, Jews were often barred from owning land and excluded from many professions. As a result, some Jews turned to occupations such as moneylending, which was often prohibited for Christians. Over time, Jews became associated with finance and money, and harmful stereotypes developed, depicting Jews as greedy or controlling the economy. These stereotypes persisted, and during times of economic hardship, Jews were scapegoated, blamed for causing financial crises or manipulating markets. 4. Political scapegoating. Throughout history, Jews were often used as scapegoats for political leaders to unite the majority population against a common enemy. Rulers in Europe, for example, would sometimes expel or persecute Jews to divert attention from their own political failings or to gain favor with the masses. Nav 5. Conspiracy theories. Anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, such as the false belief that Jews secretly control world governments or media, have fueled hatred for centuries. These theories often have no basis in fact, but persist as a way to explain complex societal problems. A notorious example is the fabricated text known as the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which falsely claimed to reveal a Jewish plot for world domination. Despite being debunked, this document influenced anti-Semitic attitudes in the 20th century. Haber 6. Nationalism and ethnic identity. As nationalism grew in the 19th and 20th centuries, Jews were often portrayed as outsiders who did not belong to the national identity. In some cases, Jews were accused of dual loyalty, being more loyal to their religious community or to Israel than to their home country. This contributed to their marginalization, particularly in Europe. Hacker 7. The Holocaust and Nazi propaganda. During World War II, the Nazi regime in Germany implemented a state-sponsored program of anti-Semitism, culminating in the Holocaust, where 6 million Jews were murdered. Nazi propaganda portrayed Jews as subhuman and responsible for Germany's problems, such as its economic difficulties following World War I. The atrocities of the Holocaust were the most extreme manifestation of anti-Semitic hatred in history. Nav 8. Modern anti-Semitism. Today, anti-Semitism continues to exist, sometimes manifesting through violent attacks, hate speech, or in subtler forms like discriminatory policies. The rise of far-right nationalism, populism, and certain extremist political movements have reinvigorated old stereotypes and conspiracy theories about Jewish influence in society. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has also contributed to modern anti-Semitism, with some critics of Israeli policies directing their anger toward Jews in general, rather than making a distinction between the Israeli state and Jewish people as a whole. Historical cycle of persecution. History shows a pattern where Jews have often been treated as outsiders or scapegoats during times of social, political, or economic unrest. This cycle of persecution often reignites when societies face challenges and look for easy targets to blame. Conclusion. Anti-Semitism has persisted for millennia, rooted in religious, cultural, economic, and political factors. While many societies today strive for tolerance and equality, the deep-seated prejudices that have driven anti-Semitism in the past continue to exist in various forms, both overt and subtle. Combating this hatred requires education, awareness, and a commitment to challenging stereotypes and conspiracy theories.